Hey you, I'm Sarah Turner. I'm a freelance copywriter and copywriting mentor, and let's talk real quick about who hires a copywriter. So basically, the people that hire copywriters are anyone who needs persuasive writing to get a group of people to take action. Usually that's sales writing, but it could also be to make a donation, to sign up for an email list, or anything else. But that can be a lot of different people. Business owners, solo entrepreneurs, people who have e-commerce stores, but generally people who have or are involved in businesses. And so when you are doing client outreach and thinking about who you want to reach out to, I want to talk to you about some of the people that maybe you haven't considered. First one I really want to touch on, and kind of the main point of this whole video, are the CEOs or the owners of businesses. Oftentimes, newbie copywriters tend to not go for, actually even seasoned copywriters really, tend to not go for the CEO or the top dog in a business because they think that, well, one, there's fear usually at play, but they also think that maybe the appropriate person should be the person involved in marketing. But I want to encourage you and challenge that thinking, and I want to encourage you to actually reach out to the person at the very top of the ladder, because those are the people who have the ability to make executive decisions. They're the ones who can make a decision without having to consult anyone else sometimes. So the other thing is a lot of people tend to think that they're not as accessible or they're hard to reach, but I have found that they're surprisingly accessible, and it has changed the trajectory of my business when I stopped playing small and I started reaching out to the big people, the CEOs, the owners of businesses. And I've encouraged my students to do this, and they have been blown away at the number of times they can actually find the contact information for who you might think would be impossible to reach. A good place to look for somebody's contact information is actually their Instagram profile. Many people are starting to put their emails on their Instagram profile to feel more accessible. You could also look on LinkedIn, you could look on Twitter, and you could even use hunter.io to try and guess their email addresses, and that is just one of the things that has surprised me so much, is that oftentimes they're super easy to guess, and it's so much easier to get in touch with people than you probably are guessing right now. So the next one that I want to talk to you about are marketing agencies. Now, you might not have thought of this as a freelance copywriter because you're thinking that they want to hire everyone in-house. But marketing agencies are actually very open to working with freelancers and contractors in general, especially when they have more work going on, because sometimes they'll have, a lot of work, or they'll have a slow season. And if they have contractors they can reach out to pass one-off projects to, that can be a really great relationship for ongoing projects here and there. So I definitely want to encourage that. Another person to consider are company managers, or, practice managers, or whoever is in charge. For example, if you're reaching out to a practice and you are not sure who to reach out to, I would always go again to the top. There might not be a CEO because of how that business is structured, but again, go for the person who has the ability to make the executive decision to hire you. And then, of course, one of the people that I want you to really think about reaching out to are other copywriters. Again, this is something that newbies don't often consider, but it can be really powerful to have a relationship with a copywriter who's maybe a little bit more experienced or ahead of you. Because not only if you build that relationship can they pass on, excess work that they might have or get support from you, but they also will be giving you valuable insight into your own copy, giving you recommendations and feedback. So think about some of the other copywriters that you could potentially reach out to hire you. So these are some of my favorite people to reach out to potentially be hired as a copywriter that people often don't consider. And again, I really want to encourage you to go for that dream client, to go for the top dog at some company that you really admire, because they are often more accessible than you think. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if you like this. Leave comments for me. I would love to hear about your dream clients, or a story where maybe you actually got in touch with some huge name that you just didn't think was possible. Or I'd like you to challenge you to do it and to come back and tell me about this experience for you. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks, guys.